Hey, do you fancy a giggle? Because someone's coming to the area next week who could just do that for you.
No one is drinking alcohol for the taste. Otherwise you wouldn't keep drinking it. I like the taste of milk. I tend to stop after one glass. You never find me at 2 a.m. 8 pints of milk down. Go, come on, there's got to be another dairy open somewhere, hasn't there? All back to mine. I've got some UHT in the fridge. We'll party through till dawn.
Josh Widdicombe's show is back in our area on, I think, Wednesday next week. I had a chance to chat to him earlier.
I would say the tour's partly extended because it started before the COVID lockdown. So I do look more popular than I am. In that the tour has been going on since 2019, but there was a big, long break in the middle. Yeah, but this is, I think, Middlesbrough is the penultimate gig of the tour ever.
Right, okay.
And so, yeah, it's going to be a big old party of a night because the last one's in Dartford, so I'm not sure that doesn't feel like the climax. It's going to climax in Middlesbrough.
I don't think so. Anyone's ever climaxed in Dartford.
No, I wouldn't like to say that it
has. So is this DVD filming time usually around the second last of the tour?
I've already done it. I did it in London about a month ago. So all bets are off now. I don't even have that hanging over me. It's like the last day of school. It's going to be the most fun one of all. Middlesbrough, yeah. It's fun. It's been a really fun tour, but it does feel like a different world to when the tour started. Should we say that?
Yeah, you must be looking forward to, and I don't mean this in a terrible way, but you must be looking forward to this finishing because it's like it's been your life for like 3 years.
It's been a strange old journey, I tell you that, because you kind of, these gigs have been booked in for so long that there'll be people who are coming. There'll be people who are coming to gigs. They've had to get babysitters, and they weren't even pregnant when they booked the tickets to the gig. They booked the tickets 3 years ago or something. So it feels great to be finally doing these gigs, but part of you can't believe they're going to happen.
Yeah,
you think there's going to actually be something leads to it being cancelled again and moved down another 6 months.
I wonder, is there anything that you were talking about pre-COVID on this tour that you sort of now have just ditched completely because you had so much to talk about from the COVID era of this 3 years?
Well, no, the good news is that I'm such a non-topical satirical comedian that everything I say still held firm. So I kept... I also was of the view, I don't reckon people want to hear about COVID. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. I ignore news stories about it now. Don't want to read them. So I made the executive decision. No one wants me to change the show to be about COVID. So it is for one night only. Imagine a window into a world where COVID never happened.
Oh, can you imagine?
We've all moved on from COVID.
Well, that would be terrible because then nobody would know how to make sourdough. Nobody would have plants in their house.
Well, exactly.
Just being able to be up there again, it must still be a novelty after having those 2 years where you weren't allowed to do what you do.
Yeah, do you know what's weird is how quickly it feels normal again, actually. You suddenly, you know how like the first time you went back to the pub, it felt a bit weird, and by the second time, it just felt normal. It's funny how quickly you click back into this being what you do and this being the normality of your life. And to the point where you go, God, I'd forgotten that I had 18 months where I had my evenings back to myself.
Yes, back on baby duty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is, I'll be honest with you, the sleeping in the hotels has been an absolute revelation after 18 months of sleep, getting up at 6 a.m.
Well, listen, so Wednesday evening, the second last of this never-ending, finally ending show.
Never-ending tour, yeah.
So I hope it's an absolute, a brilliant one. And I must say thank you, because you inadvertently bought me a beer the other week.
Did I?
Inadvertently.
How?
Because you did a show in Yarm at a theatre there.
I loved Yarm. Yarm was lovely.
Well, my wife was working at the theatre that night. She was working. And I was like, so what was he like? And she said, oh, God, what an absolute diva. He's horrible.
Yeah, that's me, yeah.
Yeah. No, she said, oh, he was just so lovely. He just wanted a couple of bottles of beer in his dressing room, and that was it. So she got you a couple of bottles of beer, and you didn't drink them. So she brought them home to me. So I said, oh, thanks, Josh. That was very kind of you.
Oh, well, if she works at Middlesbrough, there'll be 2 more beers going begging again, I imagine.